I'm David Bull. I'm currently a trustee of two charities and have been on a couple of other boards before. I've also been a CEO in the sector for 32 years, including leading a couple of the UK's highest profile charities. In that time, I've worked with many boards and staff teams, small and large, and I'm always surprised how little staff know or interact with their trustees or trustees with their staff beyond the senior leadership. So I was pleased to be asked to think about this question. The question's open to interpretation. I'm assuming staff here to mean that there are at least a few employees or perhaps volunteers beyond the CEO and senior leadership, and that trustees are keen to know what those staff think directly, as distinct from asking the CEO. In this case, trustees need to take great care about how they communicate with staff. They shouldn't just bypass the CEO, so they need the CEO's buy-in to discuss things with staff. The methodology is important. Trustees could get responses, for example, through a series of small group discussions, through a staff survey, a suggestion box, a dedicated email address. Some of these could allow anonymous responses. A staff survey could allow responses identifiable only by group or team or function in a larger organisation. There are structured surveys you can buy into, like the Sunday Times Best 100 Not-for-Profit Organisations. And I'm sure there are people like Action Planning that could help you design a survey if you need that. Generally, staff appreciate the chance to interact with trustees who can seem very distant. So it's a great idea to think about how to talk with them and hear their views. But what are the key questions? Well, you can keep this slide, so I'm not going to read through the list. I'm sure you can think of other questions and you can discuss them in the breakout sessions. But for me, the key questions are the ones that you need to know about if you're going to fulfill your key responsibilities as a board. And number one for me is culture and well-being. And this is developing into something of a theme in these seminars. If staff are happy and proud to work for your organisation, it is likely to thrive. In my experience, culture is the most important ingredient for success. But when was the last time you saw it on the board agenda? The second is safeguarding and raising concerns. We're all having to pay close attention to safeguarding these days, and so we should. Trustees are responsible for ensuring the right procedures are in place, that they're known and understood, and that people feel safe and comfortable to raise any issues and confident they'll be addressed. If concerns can be raised and seen to be dealt with effectively, you're less likely to be hit by damaging scandals. Next is leadership. One of the key responsibilities of the board is to appoint and appraise the CEO and other senior leaders. Good leadership is critical, but how do you really know? 360-degree appraisal of the CEO involves asking people at all levels of the organisation for their input. As a CEO myself, I found this especially helpful too. What could we be doing better? The staff are the ones who know the organisation and its work best. They're fully engaged every day. You can take the helicopter view as trustees, but you can't build and implement a successful strategy without the input of the people at the coal face. If staff feel engaged and listened to and know their ideas are valued, you're more likely to succeed. And finally, risk. Trustees are responsible for understanding and managing risks. What do staff think the key risks are that you face as an organisation, and how can they be mitigated? Staff know what the risks are. If trustees don't, you could be in trouble. So those are 5 questions trustees should be asking. I'm sure you can think of lots more.